Okay, now we're going to start. Welcome everybody. We're today in our second session of IEC Discovery Week. During this week, every day at 6, we will be having a presentation in different countries. And today we're going to talk about the studying in Wales. We're going to have different universities talking about this beautiful country. We're going to have Swansea University, Aberystwyth, Bangor, Cardiff and South Wales. And I'm going to talk really fast about IEC. We are an agency that we are leading the counseling sector in Spain. We have been working for 26 years, trying to help students that want to study their degrees in international universities. We send the students to the UK, the Netherlands, United States, Australia, and New Zealand. And here you have our telephone and our email in case you want to get in touch with us. And now I'm going to leave the floor for Sally from South Wales. Thank you very much.
Thanks, Sophia. So I'm just going to share my screen. If I can do this properly. So share sound. Okay. Okay, so my name is Sally Fairbairn. I'm an international executive here at the University of South Wales. I've been working at the university since 2006, so I'm a long-standing member of staff, but also I studied my bachelor's degree at the university also in business management. So I can hand on heart say I recommend this university. So I'm going to tell you a bit about our campuses. Wales is a really, really beautiful country. You will hear from the other representatives here that it just gives you such a variety of landscapes with mountains and beaches and city life and culture and history and nightlife as well. We have 3 campuses in and around the South Wales area, all within around 20 to 30 minutes of each other by train or by car. So this is our Cardiff campus. It is right in the heart of the city centre. It's really conveniently located in the fact that you have a train station just behind the campus, and it's about 2 hours to get to London from campus on the train. So you have the benefit of being able to enjoy being a tourist in London by going for the day or the weekend without having that associated high living costs of being a student in London. The Cardiff campus is where we teach all of our creative courses, so media, drama, design, fashion, music, photography, to name just a few. And if you were to walk down the street down here for about 3 minutes, then you would come right into the heart of the city centre with your shopping malls, bars, restaurants, theatres, cinemas, and everything that you need basically. There also is an accommodation block just across the road that's not owned by the university, but there are several purpose-built student accommodation blocks in the city, so you might be sharing with other students from maybe Cardiff University or Cardiff Met as well, which is quite nice. So here's just a summary of the subject areas that we teach within this campus. It's really great because at the start of the year, this faculty does put on a fashion show, and it's a really great chance for all the students to actually come together and work collectively in the fact that you've got your media students and music students doing the film and the music for the fashion show. You've got the photography students there, and obviously the fashion students designing the garments to put this fashion show together. So it's a really great way to integrate with those other industries within your faculty as well. This is the campus where I'm based in Pontypridd. I'm in this little blue building here. It's very different to Cardiff in the fact that it is the campus environment spread over one site, where you've got your student halls of residence here at the top of the campus, and we have over 1,200 rooms available there. You've got your sports centre and gym here, and your students' union just below that, with a pub, a nightclub, a couple of bars, a hairdressers. There's a noodle bar and beer garden. You've also got Stilts restaurant with Starbucks coffee shop in there as well. We have an aerospace centre with 2 aircraft hangars. The library is open 24 hours a day during term time, which is really convenient as well. And then you can see all these housing areas here. So there is the option for you to have a shared house in the local area, which is just walking distance from the university if you didn't want to live on campus in halls of residence. And there is a train station just 5 minutes walk away, and then you are literally just 20 minutes from Cardiff city centre. So it is quite convenient if you're looking to get a part-time job because you're so close to the city, but there are jobs around the Pontypridd area as well. Oops, sorry. There is another part to this campus called the Glintaff site, which is literally just across the road. And this is where we teach all of our life sciences, so our biology, chemistry, but also nursing, geography, geology is taught on this campus as well, forensic sciences, police sciences. And you can see here a summary of the subject areas that we teach with on this campus. The subjects above the line are on the first part of the campus I showed you, and then you've got the sciences over on the Glintaff site as well. Finally, we've got our Newport campus, again, another modern looking building right in the heart of the city centre. Accommodation block is literally just walking distance down the road, but you also have a shopping mall across the road as well. So everything is so easy for you to get to, whether it's walking or you might have a bike. And then a train station, again, will be 5 minutes walk from this campus, and it's only 90 minutes to get to London from Newport. So on this campus, we do teach our very popular Mba Global Program. This is a 22-month program with an integrated 8-month work placement, which is really popular. But also we teach our Hotel and Hospitality Management Award here as well. We're the only university, I think I'm right in saying, that has collaboration with an international 5-star hotel. So our students actually get to work within the Celtic Manor, but also pick up some part-time hours if they want to as well. And these are just the subject areas that we teach there. So you've got the option of on or off campus accommodation. The on-campus accommodation in the Pontypridd campus, this is an actual room. It's very spacious. It starts from around £100 a week, but can go as high as 130 depending on the size of the room that you choose. But all rooms are single occupancy and have their own ensuite bathroom and shower as well, which is really convenient for you. If you wanted your kind of a cheaper option that fits your budget, a bit more friendly option, then you would live in the local area. And depending on which campus you're at, it can probably start between £50 and probably £80 a week for a privately shared house. But you probably wouldn't have the luxury of your own ensuite bathroom if you went for that option. So our fees have changed obviously for international students from this crazy little thing called Brexit that happened. But what we've been able to do as a university for the intake that's just happened is actually give our EU students a scholarship to ensure that your fees are still in line with our home students. So for the majority of our courses, you will still only pay £9,000 per year for an undergraduate course and £9,000 for your 1-year master's. That has been confirmed for September 2022 as well. And if you're on an undergraduate programme, your fees will be fixed for the duration of your whole 3-year programme, which is giving you peace of mind there. You have the option to pay a £3,000 deposit, but you then, if you want to pay the balance at the time of enrolment, you will get a £300 reduction or early bird payment discount. Alternatively, you can set up a payment plan to pay the remaining £7,000 over 10 monthly instalments with no interest charged. That was my quick 5-minute briefing of the University of South Wales. I feel it wasn't long enough, but we do have some really great videos on our YouTube channel, and we have some really wonderful interactive online open days as well. So feel free to log into those and contact us if you've got any queries.
Okay, so over to me. So, hola, buenas tardes y bienvenidos a la presentación de Swansea University. I'm Jennifer, and I'm just going to give you, again, a 5-minute overview of our beautiful campuses in South Wales. And I'm going to start with a little video. Okay, so just, oh, it's going to keep on going now. I just need to get back onto the next slide. Bear with me. There we go. So that just gives you a flavour of where we are in South Wales. And as Sally mentioned as well, beautiful landscape scenery around us. And it's a really, really beautiful part of the United Kingdom. But just where are we? I hope you can see this map. I've got too many things covering my screen at the moment. So Wales, as you know, we are the little greeny yellowy part of the map here. Swansea's right down here on the south coast. And, oh, excuse me, right down here on the south coast. And similar to Sally, we're just 3 hours away by train from central London. So landing at Heathrow, 15 minutes to Paddington and straight across on the train. So really well located for getting around the UK into Ireland. We've got a local airport in Cardiff and one in Bristol, and easy access into Europe as well. So really well placed. And we are the second largest city in Wales. We've got a population of just over 250,000. And we are very privileged to have 2 beautiful seafront campuses. And we're right on the edge of the beautiful Gower Peninsula. It's the UK's first area of outstanding national beauty. So we'll show you a couple of images from there as well. So you can see in this top photograph, we have the beach, we have the marina and the town centre just here. And this just gives you an idea of our location. And then the marina next to the sea in the evening. We are a small, safe city, very multicultural for our size. And we're really well located for students to feel part of the community. We're just a 30-minute walk, a short bike ride or a bus right along the flat of the seafront from the campus into town. And like any UK town, plenty of cultural places to visit, cafes, shops, restaurants, cinema, and all very happily open again now, which is making life feel a lot more exciting and normal again. It's great to see students on campus again now too. If you're into sport, there's plenty to do. We have Swansea City Football Club and the local Ospreys rugby team. They play at the stadium, which is located not too far from the university as well. And currently there's a huge transformation project happening just near the top of this picture, actually. And we're putting in a lot of new digital arena, new accommodation, and plenty of things just to make Swansea City Centre even more attractive for you to live, work, and study. We are a very affordable UK university town, regularly in the top 10 for the UK, which obviously your money goes a little bit further than it might in some of the bigger cities across the UK. And really importantly, we are a UK safe student city. So I think those are important to note. So our 2 campuses, this is our original campus, Singleton Park. We were 100 years old last year. Celebrations were sadly curtailed due to COVID, but we say 100 years nevertheless. And it's a beautiful campus. My office is in this building, just in the middle, and from my desk to the beach is just a 5-minute walk. So it's a stunning place. If you need headspace from work or study, you can choose to be at the park or on the beach, just so close, just to get away from the screen. And these are the colleges located on this campus as well. And for the medical school, the hospital, Swansea's main hospital, is just to the right of the picture. So as far as shared facilities and things, it's fantastic. Accommodation blocks, you've got about 1,500 rooms on this campus. And around just at the edge of the park, there's a lot of local accommodation to be had as well. Again, 100 years old, but we have absolutely bang up to date modern facilities, as you can see in some of these images. Our Bay campus is our second campus, just about 30 minutes across town, and it opened in 2016. And engineering management, computer science and maths are based here. And we have 2,000 accommodation rooms here as well. And we actually own this stretch of beach. So we are, I think, the closest university to a beach, I think, in the world, but it sounds like a big claim, but I think it is pretty true in this case. So again, a fantastic campus. And I'll just share some images with you. It is all built from ground up, with an amazing wish list for engineering and management and computer science, just to have state-of-the-art facilities. And the students are privy to these wonderful facilities that you can see here. Again, that's aerospace engineering, business, and sport and exercise science. So from our location, why else should you consider coming to Swansea? Teaching excellence and student satisfaction we do very, very well in the UK. And we are a very happy second home to just around 19,000 students, slightly more than that now. 3,500 are from over 120 countries around the world, excuse me. So there's plenty of students who will also be new, like yourselves, should you decide to come. And you can see our rankings. We do very well in student satisfaction and in career prospects as well. So employability is really, really important to us in all our colleges. And this is just a snapshot of some of the companies that we work very closely with for work placements, internships, and on research projects as well. So these, again, in the South Wales area, a little bit further afield, but there's fantastic relationships there. And our graduates do go on to do great things with many of these businesses. And aside from academia, of course, there's your social life. We have over 150 societies and more than 50 different sports clubs for you to take part in at Swansea, from hockey and rugby to climbing and surfing. You can do competitive, you can just try new things just for fun and just to socialize and meet new people. Again, our location on the beach, it just lends itself so perfectly to trying new and different things in a different location. Learn to surf, paddle boarding, yoga on the beach, all those kind of things. And it's just a really, really nice place to hang out, to be honest. And then we've got the mountains and hills not too far away if you like hiking and just getting in the great outdoors. And again, Cardiff city centre, not that far away if you like the bigger city, but there's really something for everybody at Swansea. And you can rest assured that you're really well supported and very cared for. And whatever support you feel you need, when you need it, you can have it across all these different aspects of your new life as a student at Swansea. And there's a very caring team in the campus life department who they put on fantastic events as well, but they're there for your welfare too. So that was my whistle-stop tour of Swansea. My name is Jennifer Walker. This is my email address. And follow us on social media, #SwanseaUni. But also, if you want, there's a QR code here. Our next undergraduate virtual open day is in just a couple of weeks' time, Wednesday, 6th of October, and you can have a look online and register for that should you wish to. The postgraduate one is a couple of weeks after that. I think it's the 20th of October, but all details are online. Okay, thanks for listening.
Thanks, Jennifer. I'll just crank up the share screen. So I hope everybody can see that. So my name's Samantha Vallon, despite what my name says here. I'm from Aberystwyth University, the regional manager for Europe. So I actually studied here as well. I did my undergraduate and my master's at the university. and loved it so much I've stayed ever since. So if that says anything, that's a good point for Aberystwyth. As you can see, we're also right by the coast. So we are just off screen, just off the picture here, but this is Aberystwyth. So we're in mid Wales, so right in the middle of Wales, right on the coast. So it's a beautiful place to live and study, and again, a very safe place. Wales in general is a very safe place to live, and as you'll see from all the photos that will all show, a very beautiful place as well. So what you're all here to hear is kind of why choose our universities. And so here are just some points on why choose Abba or Aberystwyth. So we're number one in the UK for teaching quality for 2 years in a row. And we're still consistently in the top numbers for teaching quality in nearly every ranking that you'll look at. So that's the Times and the TEF, so they're kind of the top ranking choices. We're also one of the top universities for student satisfaction. We're top 10 in the UK in the NSS since 2016 and continues to be number one in Wales as well. Now this student satisfaction ranking is students rating universities if they're happy with their course, accommodation, general life. So it's a good ranking to look out for because it takes everything into consideration. We also have an International Accommodation Award, which is a scholarship that I'll go into more detail, but it is worth nearly £4,000 every year of your degree. All of our degrees also have employability and graduate employment integrated throughout the whole thing. So every time that we're teaching you anything, we're making sure that it's going to make you more employable at the end of your degree. And of course, the unbelievable location. As you'll see from these photos, it's a beautiful place to live, even in the winter when it's not quite as warm as you're used to, I'm sure. So here is our campus. So the lower half of this picture is our campus and the upper half is Aberystwyth town. Now, the old college is where we started in 1872. So we were the first university in Wales and the oldest. And then the main campus, as I said, is up here. On the main campus, we have an arts centre with a theatre. It even has a cinema on campus, as well as the student union with a pub, cafe, restaurant, library and galleries as well. We have a National Library of Wales, so it's one of, I think, 6 copyright libraries in the UK. There's only 6 and it holds every copy of a book published in the UK. So it's a huge building and an excellent resource for any students studying social sciences or the arts, especially those wanting to study something like history, English literature, archive studies. The sports centre on campus, any student living in our university accommodation gets free platinum membership with our sports centre. So that's free access to our swimming pool, gym, climbing wall, fitness classes, and all of the activities taking place there. And all of our departments are based on this one campus as well. So everything is in walking distance. The accommodation is just below this picture as well. And you'll never have more than a 10-minute walk from bed to lecture, which is very useful for those early 9 AM classes. I say that from experience. A lot of students in their second and third year may wish to live in town, and that is 15-minute walk max into town, maybe 20-minute back. It's up a small hill, but everything is in walking distance, which again saves you a lot of money because you don't have to pay for buses or transport around the local area. Aberystwyth is famous for its sunsets, and our students spend possibly too much of their time on the beach. So our students arrived this Wednesday and the beach is already getting full of students having bonfires and parties on the beach in the evening. So funding for students coming into Aberystwyth, the main one you're going to be eligible for would be our International Accommodation Scholarship Award. This essentially gives you housing at no extra cost, so is worth nearly £4,000 because it pays for your accommodation. Or if you want to live in one of the more luxurious accommodations, you can get a discount. But I'll go into more detail into that the next slide. We also have an Entrance Scholarship and Merit Award where you can take an exam, 2 exams really, on 2 subjects of your choice. And if you do well in these exams, you can get £2,000 a year on top of our accommodation scholarship. If you do okay, or if you do only okay, you can get £500 to £1,000 or nothing at all, but it doesn't affect your application at all. So it's worth having a go, and it can give you an unconditional offer for your undergraduate degree as well, which is always quite handy to have as a bit of reassurance. For those who are looking for a postgraduate course or a master's, you will be eligible for the Accommodation Scholarship, and there are numerous other scholarships available as well, including the Study in Wales Scholarship, which is worth £10,000. So the International Scholarship Award is guaranteed for all international students. Now, all international students are guaranteed a room in our accommodation anyway. We have more than enough accommodation, and as I said, it's all on campus, so really easy to get around. And you can live in this accommodation, as you can see pictured here. This is one of the smaller rooms. For some reason, I've chosen a bad picture, but you get this for free for the entire duration of your course. So there's no bills, no Wi-Fi, no extra costs involved. You always have your own room as well, so it's single occupancy, and you have a large kitchen living room area shared with about 6 people, I think this one. So if you wish to go into one of our larger or newer accommodations that have their own ensuite, you can get £2,000 off the annual cost of this as well. And like I said, this is every year of your academic study, and you get free access to the sports facilities as well. To be eligible for this scholarship, all you need to do is apply for the accommodation as usual and select which choice you have. This is available to all students and will hopefully make the fees a little bit more affordable. So as my previous colleagues from other universities have said, because of the B word Brexit, the fees have increased somewhat for European students. So for undergraduate courses, you're looking at £14,000 to £15,000 per year for our courses at undergraduate level. But with this accommodation award, you'll actually be saving £4,000. So that's quite a lot of saving per year. And Aberystwyth in general is quite a cheap place to live. There's lots of students, and everything is geared towards the student budget. Just wait for my PowerPoint to catch up. So the faculties. So we have 3 main faculties. Faculty is Arts and Social Sciences, which includes theatre, film, English language, English literature, creative writing, law as well, and criminology, psychology. So there's lots of different kind of subject areas within there. Faculty of Business and Physical Sciences includes business, physics, computer science, and maths. Business and computer science are the largest out of those, and we get a lot of international students coming into those subject areas. And then lastly, our Faculty of Environment and Life Sciences. And within this, we have biology, environmental studies, zoology, geography, and a new vet school as well. So Wales's first and only vet school is within this faculty, which is proving very popular in Europe at the moment. So a quick summary. I could go on for a lot longer, but I'll try to keep it short and sweet. So Aberystwyth, we have such a strong alumni base, and in Spain as well, we have an alumni club that meets quite regularly. And every time that you meet anybody who's studied at Aberystwyth, they will have nothing but good things to say. But in summary, Aberystwyth, we're not right in the middle of a city. And it is a beautiful place to live, but it's also a real campus environment with fantastic teaching quality and student experience to boot. We have a variety of varied subjects, from adventure tourism to zoology to accounting to veterinary studies, as well as the usual and the ever popular business, computer science, biology and law subjects that you'll see at most universities as well. And I think the big thing for us is it's high quality education at an affordable price. We're always trying to make sure the teaching and research is of as high a quality as possible, whilst making sure that students don't have to pay completely crazy amounts to be able to access that. Well, thank you for listening for that quick whistle-stop tour of Aberystwyth, and I shall pass over now to a fellow Welsh university.
Sorry, everyone, I'm trying to share my screen here. My computer seems to be quite frozen. And I've arrived at the end of my presentation. It's a great start. Sorry about this. I have a very old laptop. Can you confirm that you can see my presentation? Anyone?
Not at the moment. We saw the last slide.
Okay. Is that better?
Yes, perfect.
Excellent. Right. Well, everyone, I'm sorry about that terrible start, but my name is Michael Rogerson. I'm here to tell you a little bit about Bangor University, a brief introduction. So Bangor University, sorry about this, on campus, Bangor University is made up of 3 colleges: environmental sciences and engineering, human sciences, arts, humanities and business, with various sub-schools within those, such as computer science, electronic engineering, biological sciences, marine biology, medical health, psychology, etc. We have over 2,000 international students from over 90 different countries. That's in a population of about 10,000 students in total. In Bangor itself, which is a small city, there are only about 25,000 people. So basically, if you're a student in Bangor, you make up 1 in 3 of the total population. So it's a great place to get to know your fellow students. It's a good place to make friends, really supportive, close environment. And on average, we typically have around 50 or more students from Spain studying with us. Subject areas within those schools, we have everything from accounting, banking and finance to psychology, from education to ocean science, from environmental sciences to history and archaeology, and a few specialist subject areas such as Celtic studies and Arthurian literature. Bangor is an old university, I believe the 2nd oldest after Aberystwyth, picked to the post in that regard. So it was established in 1884, which means we've had a university here for over 135 years. And the picture you see here is of our main arts building, which kind of sits atop a hill overlooking the city beneath it. Many, of course, liken it to Hogwarts from the Harry Potter stories, including me. In terms of teaching and research, we're one of a few universities in the UK with both teaching excellence and research excellence. So both high teaching and high research in terms of the assessments in recent years. We're in good company there. Others include Cambridge, Durham, Oxford, Manchester, Sheffield. So Bangor is one of these universities with both high teaching and high research, which of course impacts the quality of the course that you'll be studying quite significantly. I won't read through all these, but this is a snapshot of some of our awards and rankings in the last few years. You'll see here that student satisfaction is very high at Bangor. We've won awards for clubs and societies, numerous awards for accommodation, for courses and lecturers, academic experience, teaching quality, research quality, course satisfaction, and so on. The location, in common with my colleagues from the other universities, I don't think there is a bad location in Wales. And certainly, Bangor is one of these with supreme access to the natural environment. So the picture you see here is Bangor Pier. It's a 5-minute walk into the centre of Bangor from here, a 10-minute walk to the main university campus, and this is about 15 minutes walk from where you'll be living in your university accommodation. So as you can see, we are right next to the sea, we're right by the mountains. It's a fantastic and beautiful environment. We're also, the picture may suggest that we're quite remote, but we are actually 90 minutes away from Manchester Airport and Liverpool Airport. We have a direct ferry from Holyhead to Dublin, so you can explore Ireland as well. And we have a direct train to London that takes about 3¼ hours. So it's incredibly accessible as well from all kinds of airports and ports in the UK. The campus is spread out over the city, but it's a small city, so you can typically walk to any of our buildings within about 15 minutes. As you can see from all the numbered buildings on this map, we are spread across the city centre, so you've got good access to the centre, the supermarkets for shopping, and also to the university buildings, the student union, the facilities, etc. We have won numerous awards, as mentioned, for our accommodation. We have some of the best accommodation in the UK. If you were able to swivel this picture to the right, my right, you would see mountains in the distance, which is extremely nice to behold. 90% or more of our rooms are ensuite. It's very rare that a student will get a non-ensuite room. They're all single occupancy rooms, and they range in cost from between £95 to £140 per week. The sites that you see here has a sports centre nearby, a cafe, bar, laundry, etc. And all amenities are supplied for that cost, other than food. We have an amazing sports facility called the Brailsford Centre on the campus. Amazingly up to date. You can log into these machines with your university card and keep track of not only your exercise routines, but your emails. So, you know, you can be doing emails while you're on a jogging machine, although not a rowing machine, obviously. Investment in your future. We have in recent years developed a new centre called the Pontiac Center. Pontiac is a Welsh word meaning to bridge. And this building aims to do just that, to bridge the arts and the sciences, the university and the community. So here we have social spaces for the community and students alike. We have a bar, a couple of restaurants, and we have an amazing new theatre in there, as well as lecture rooms and cinemas in there too, but also breakout study spaces for students, lecture rooms, etc. We have incredible student support in Bangor. It's a very supportive environment. Anything from employment, immigration to study skills, disability support, careers and employment, housing, or any general welfare issues. So whatever issue you may have while you're studying with us, and hopefully none, but if you do, there's always somebody here to help you. One slide that appears to have disappeared from this presentation is my scholarship slide, but as my colleagues have mentioned, European students will now pay international fees. The typical average fee at Bangor is just over £16,000 per year, but we have an EU scholarship specifically in place worth £5,000 per year, which is guaranteed to all EU residents. So that scholarship is there to help mitigate some of that additional cost for you. So do have a look on our website for that, and apologies for the lack of slide. Anyway, so here are my details. If you do want to get in touch, note down my email and phone number, and be happy to help. So thank you very much.
Hello there. My name is David Evans, and I am the regional manager for Europe at Cardiff University. So this is our main building. So this is the heart of Cardiff University. Again, like I think Bangor and Abba, and we're a city university. So the university takes over much of the center of the city, the civic center. We're a very well-known university. Obviously, Cardiff itself is a capital city. We're the largest university in Wales with about just over 30,000 students, established in 1883. So we're an oldie as well. And we're actually a top 160 university in the world. So it's a world-leading institution. We're generally ranked #1 among the Welsh institutions in rankings like the Times QS World Rankings Complete University Guide. And we're the only Russell Group university in Wales. For those of you that don't know the Russell Group, it's a group of they tend to be larger universities, research intensive institutions. So you'll know some of them very well, like Oxford, Cambridge, UCL, King's, Durham, Newcastle, Manchester, Birmingham. So we're part of that research intensive group. We get likened to the Ivy League in the United States. I don't know why. It's nothing like that whatsoever. What it is that they're collaborative research universities that try to solve the world's big global issues. We're very strong in research. So in the latest research rankings, so the Research Excellence Framework, we're ranked 5th among UK universities for research impact, and I think 2nd for research quality. So, you know, a very prestigious institution, Cardiff University. Like my colleagues have also mentioned, that it's great value. Cardiff is a great city. It's Europe's youngest capital city. It's very vibrant. There are a number of universities here, and students make up between 20 and 25% of the city. It's a fabulous place to be a student. I'll go on to explain about that later, but it's that balance between a very high standard of living and a lower cost of living. So we, as a city, as a student city, we generally are seen as among some of the lower costs of living in the UK. And we're an extremely international university. We've got 6,500 international students from around 130 different countries. So it's a very cosmopolitan and multicultural environment. We have a great campus. In all, we have 26 different schools. So we teach pretty much everything. In fact, one of the only things we don't teach is veterinary science. So I know that Abba have started that. All the traditional subjects you can think of: sciences, medicine, arts, humanities. You know, we much offer most subjects. It's large, multidisciplinary. As has already been said, Cardiff is a great location. I won't rehash what's already been said. So what I'll do is just give you my anecdotal information. So I have lived all over the world. So I went to university in England, actually. I also studied in France and lived in Paris for a time. I've lived in some very big cities in Japan. I lived over there for 12 years. I've lived in London as well. And Cardiff, for me, is the Goldilocks city. It's not too big, it's not too small, but you've got everything you need. It's really compact, it's really green, it's really safe. And there's just so much going on. I'm so glad that things are starting to get back to normal here. This week alone, I've been to concerts, I've been to see an orchestra, I went to a comedy club. So there's so much going on here. It's a really exciting place to live, to work, and to be a student as well. Okay. So this is just to give you a little bit of a flavor as to what Cardiff looks like. The top left there is our main building. So Cardiff University is regularly ranked in the top 10 of the most beautiful universities in the UK. We've got a number of fantastic Edwardian style buildings with, you know, very ornate frontage and with pillars and all sorts of statues. But we've also got, you know, for some of our newer subjects, some very state-of-the-art facilities and equipment and what have you. We've just built a brand new Centre for Student Life as part of our Students' Union. So when you come into Cardiff and you see it, it's, you know, when you're at Cardiff University, you really do feel like you're at university. It does have a certain academic feel about it. So the other pictures are just to illustrate some of the lovely parts of Cardiff. You've got Cardiff Bay, which was regenerated and is a really exciting, lovely place right on the waterfront. We've got a massive 70,000 seater stadium right in the city centre, quite close to the university. So you can see if you're into your sports or big bands or events. We've had the UEFA Cup final. You can go and watch Beyonce or Ed Sheeran in there. And it's one of the UK's greenest cities as well. So we've got over 300 parks and gardens here in Cardiff. So I think that's pretty much it. So I'm sure you'll have lots of questions. In terms of fees, we're among the higher fees. We do have scholarships as well, but do check out our website or get in touch at cardiff.ac.uk.
Thank you very much, David, and thank you very much to all the other panelists. It has been wonderful traveling around Wales. Sandra, I don't know if we have any question in the chat.
Hi, everybody. Well, we have one question here in the Q&A, and it's in Spanish. I'm going to translate, and I think that this one you have already answered. You have covered this information during your presentations, but listeners would like to know if you have any specific financial help or support for Europeans. Maybe it's a good opportunity to do a summary of the things that you have mentioned in terms of funding or scholarships. So maybe Sally, if you want to go first and finishing with David, you can summarize a little bit your scholarships and okay.
You mean, right?
I think the first
Sally left.
It's Sally
had to leave after her presentation.
Yes,
okay, it's fine. Sally mentioned, because I was taking notes, that they are going to maintain the tuition fees as last year. That's £9,000 per year. That's for South Wales. The next one was Jennifer.
Yes, we're literally making our decision at the moment. We are going to be able to give scholarships for 2022-23 for EU students. We just haven't come to that final decision yet, but we'd hope to have that in the next couple of weeks. So, yeah.
Okay, and we will share that information
Absolutely.
with you. Yeah. So keep up to date. We will keep you up to date. And the next one was Samantha. Did you repeat your lovely scholarship? Yeah.
Yes, so we've got quite a good package of scholarships. So our fees are going to be either £14,300 or £16,300, depending on the course the student wishes to study. But there's quite a large package of scholarships available, including the free accommodation, essentially, and the entrance scholarship exam that could be worth £2,000 every year. So if you add those two together, it's technically worth £6,000 per year.
Great, lovely. Are you there, Michael?
I am, yeah, despite my technological ineptitude. Yes, Bangor University has an EU-specific scholarship for EU residents, currently worth £5,000 per year of study.
Great, thank you very much. And David, what about you?
Yeah, so we're very similar. So we have a £5,000 Vice-Chancellor's EU scholarship that comes in the form of a tuition reduction. So our fees are anywhere from around £19,000, £20,000, £21,000 normally. Some of them are much higher. You're studying medicine, dentistry, things like that, they're much higher, but generally around the 19 to 21 mark, and that gets reduced by £5,000.
Great, thank you very much for that. In fact, we have another question, and it is related to fees. Again, Juan Carlos would like to know about specific information about tuition fees and also accommodation. Maybe you have answered about the tuition fees, but what about accommodation and living cost? So
shall I start off again?
Yeah, yes, please, Jennifer, thank you.
I know we had 5 minutes and it was very hard to know what will stay with people and I knew there was questions and answers, so it's hard to include everything. So apologies for not covering that in the presentation. So our accommodation is very affordable. You can on campus at Singleton, it costs start at around £95–98 per week, and that's again for single rooms with either in a dorm situation and some with ensuite. Goes up to £125 on Singleton. Bay Campus starts at around £140, and those are for single and ensuite rooms, but those rooms are brand new. They've only been, they're 5 years old. In the local area as well, you can reduce that hugely, like many of the university cities, in shared houses for your second year. There's a lot of very much more affordable private housing. There's also a great push for building new student accommodation in Swansea, in the city centre. Again, just 20 minutes away from campus, so still very accessible. But again, there's many choices, and our accommodation team can advise not just on what's on campus, but in university managed properties around the city as well. So yeah.
Thank you, Jennifer. I think that Michael and Samantha, you also covered this information, but just as a reminder.
Yeah, so our scholarship can cover accommodation for the duration of their course, so they can get accommodation for free for the entire course. If a student wishes to go to one of the accommodations that's recently been built in the last, I think, 5 years again, they will get £2,000 off the annual cost, bringing it down to less than £3,000 a year quite easily. It's probably going to be more kind of less than £2,000. So accommodation costs is going to be very cheap with us.
Thank you.
And for Bangor, you can book a basic room for about £95 per week. These are in quite short supply. We also have at the other end of the scale, studio apartments for about £140 per week. But the vast majority of our standard ensuite rooms make up the bulk of our accommodation, and they're about £125 per week.
Thank you, Michael. And in Cardiff?
Yeah. In Cardiff, you know, as I said, we're a large university. We've got 18 different accommodation campuses, so there's lots of different choices, all the way from ensuite to kind of shared housing. It varies greatly. So we've got everything that, you know, for students on lower budgets, we've got a bit more basic accommodation, all from £100 all the way up to £150. So yeah, lots of different choice. We guarantee accommodation for all international students from outside the UK for year one. So yeah, we've got lots of options.
Thank you. Yeah, I think the idea that we should bring with us is that you have a wide variety of options, and for all the budgets and all the likes, really, and also that the accommodation is guaranteed for the first year. That's also important. So Eric is asking, hi, I have a British passport. I'm a holder, but I was born in Spain and I am a Spanish resident. So my question, I consider an international student. So David, maybe you want to go for that one?
I think the likelihood of that will probably be yes, but we'd have to look at each case individually, and students would normally undertake a fee assessment form. So we'd look at what he's been doing for the previous 3 years in terms of residency, in terms of nationality, to be able to determine fee status. I mean, for us anyway at Cardiff, EU students don't fall under a different fee structure now. So all EU students come under the international fee, so it doesn't really make much difference. The only difference will be that we do have a more generous scholarship at Cardiff University for EU students. It's £5,000, whereas other international students don't receive as high a scholarship.
Okay, and I guess it's the same case and the same situation for the rest of universities, right? More or less. Okay. We don't have more questions here. Let me check the chat. Okay, we have a question. From the perspective of a Spanish student, what will be the main advantage of studying at Wales that maybe is not really well known if we compare it to England, for instance? Maybe Samantha, do you want to start with that? That's a tricky one, no?
Yeah, thanks for that. So I literally just last week, I was helping with the pickup service where we go to the airport to pick students up who are arriving this year to start their course. And a lot of our European students really like the fact that Wales had its own culture and its own language, and that nearly every local person that you'll speak to here speaks more than one language, and that kind of multilingual, more cosmopolitan aspect of a university town is something that drew them towards us as well. And Wales and everywhere that we're speaking to you from today, are very easy to get used to. It's not going to be one of those big scary cities that students have never been to before. It's not going to be getting lost every day. It's very easy to navigate. So it's a bit of an easier transition to make wherever you're moving to your home from home. I think I've muddled my way through that one, okay?
Perfect, thank you very much. So, and the last question from Eric again is, what happens about things like like being registered with a doctor, health insurance, things like that. David?
Yeah, that's no problem at all. So we'll absolutely help you with that. In terms of registering with a doctor, all of that information is sent to you before you arrive, and then also, again, your handheld through it during orientation when you come to us. So we give you all the information that you need. Most students, will have to pay a health surcharge to be able to take advantage of the services that the NHS offer. And then what was the other question?
It was about the health insurance. This question is from Eric, and Eric has a British passport with, born in Spain. And I guess that the question is related to if it's any difference with the health insurance, if they have to pay health insurance or not in this case.
Again, the likelihood is yes.
Yes.
But again, we need to look at each individual case. As a one-off. I'm not a specialist in this, in visas and immigration. It's for a different department at the university for most of us, actually. But the likelihood is, that he would need to do that. But one thing that we do offer, all of our universities have very high levels of student support. If you've noticed, the student satisfaction results for all this is very, very high. So our levels tend to be higher than, like, on average than you would at all English institutions, for example. So we really do look after our students, and we have some very, well-trained and specialist staff that can help students with all of this. So it's not something to be worried about at all. We'll help you from before you arrive right up until you're here and starting your classes.
Perfect. Thank you very much. And that was the last question, Sophia.
Perfect. Thank you very much to everyone. We're really happy to have you here. We will send this recording, and if you have any other question, you have the panelist email that they have shown to you, and also you have our contact, IEC. Thank you very much to everyone. Looking forward to seeing you tomorrow. Bye-bye. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you. Bye-bye.
Thank you.